Planning putting an extra garage in the backyard. Yes, I looked
Right.
into it. Basically, I had a storage unit. It was 10 by 20,
Right.
and I filled it completely with crap
Oh my
from our
gosh.
house and garage. And I was like, I'm paying money for this every month. Why not just put up a garage in the backyard, and I'll have the extra storage I need, and plus I can put my Cutlass in there, and because it's just sitting outside. And I've kind of backed off that. It's just more work for me that I'm not going to do. So
Yeah. No, I get it.
I'm not going to do anything to the Cutlass. I'm going to sell it probably this spring.
Okay.
I'm not going to work on anything. All I would be building the garage for is for storage. So
Got
why not
it.
just get rid of stuff?
Got it. Okay.
So it's all in my garage right now. My other garage that I don't use because we're down to one car
Sure.
because Deb, for a while there, she wasn't working after the COVID.
Right.
She was working, but at home.
Right. So she
We only needed one car.
Right.
So
an
why
extra
pay for
car
two
payment?
cars?
Yeah. Oh,
So, and now she's working 3 days a week. So she just takes me to work before it's no big deal. I'm 5 minutes away from work. She's 6 minutes away from home, I mean.
Sure.
So she just drives me in 3 days a week, and I get the car the other 2 days and the weekends, or if she needs it. And it's the truck that doesn't really fit in my garage, so
Yeah.
it's no big deal having crap in there right now.
I have really probably like one more minor topic to go over,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
I don't think it's minor.
Well, it could expand if you're thinking what I'm going to do.
Well, maybe not.
But the thing that we really haven't touched on at all is like the bucket list cars.
Yeah.
The cars that got away. Maybe there's a story of
Yeah.
a car that you almost bought or you came real close to buying. And we've talked about this the other night a
Yeah.
little bit too, but we just
Little
didn't do it on air. So I guess why don't we start with you a little bit on that?
Okay.
And is there any cars that either A, are on your bucket list that you haven't bought yet, but you would still like to do it, right? Or is there a story about a car that, man, I almost bought this. It's not on my bucket list, but I almost had a chance to buy this car, and it just didn't work out. Do you have anything on that?
I almost bought a 69 Nova when I sold the Starfire.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. I had, the trading post, and I had looked at one, and I called about it, and I talked to the guy about it, and I was going to go out and look for it, but my car hadn't sold. So about a week later, my car did sell, and the Nova was gone. It was a
Damn it.
69 Nova, all done up. The guy had a 350 double, what do you have in it?
Dual carbs or something?
No, double stroke or something. I don't remember what it was called. Some kind of carburetor, and I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
And I'm like, it was a fast car, and I had my eye on that. And if I had sold my car a week earlier, I'd have bought it.
Wow.
I'd have bought it.
Wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's the one that almost got away. The Cavalier almost got away that I did buy
The Z24? Okay.
because I went over to some place, not even going to mention this time, but I saw it in the lot. I was looking at Z24s
Okay.
pretty much exclusively. I looked at a couple Grand Ams, but I really wanted the Z24. They were a little bit out of my price range,
Okay.
just a little.
Okay.
But I seen this blue one at the car dealership that I drove by every day on my way home from work, and I went in and I talked to the guy, and I said, this is what my monthly payment needs to be for this car.
Okay.
I'll trade in my truck. This is what it needs to be. Can't get anywhere close to that. I'm $15 over is what he told me.
Wow.
Can't even get close to it.
Wow.
$15 a month over. I said, no, not going to do it. So I just left it, and for the next month, I drove by that car lot, and that car was still there. Still there.
kidding.
Still there. So I went back in. I said, hey, it's me again. Can you get that payment I wanted now? And he goes, in stock. So I wanted $185 a month, what I said.
There you
I
go.
said not a dime over, and I stretched a little bit because he gave me $185 and like 35 cents, I think, and I said, okay.
He said, all right.
I'll give you the 35 cents. Although, when I went in to trade in my truck, the day I went to pick up my car, and we're sitting down in the finance office,
Yeah.
the guy goes, okay, so payments are going to be $192.75 a month. And I'm like, no.
No, it's not.
He goes, what do you mean? I go, we agreed on 185 and change, whatever it was. Well, it says here 192. I'm looking at all the numbers. That's what it comes up to. And I'm like, well, they give me my keys to my truck back. I'm going home. And then he went and got the manager. The manager comes back in, and he's looking at the computer, and he goes, well, which I can't believe he said this in front of me, but he's like, well, put an extra 100 on the trade and then see what it does. So the guy types it in. Oh, 185, 35 cents. Oh, amazing. You tried to cheat me out of $100.
Right.
I was not it. If I didn't want that car so bad, I'd have left.
Right. Wow.
Because I thought about it. I thought about, you know what? Just give me my keys back. I'm going home.
Sure.
I don't know why you're trying to rip me off for $100 freaking dollars. And you work in the business. I think you know that's probably pretty asinine.
It is.
Can you imagine any of your managers doing that? I mean, maybe you can, but
I can see them working it and then talking, like being out on the sales floor, talking to the customer and saying, okay, and they go back to the computer and they put an extra $100 in it. It comes out to the
185.
185. So, and they go, okay, that works. But what he's doing is that the deal was stored without the $100 in there.
Right.
And he just went in there and messed with it like on a worksheet, found out that it was a better price, and then never saved it. And then it goes back to finance, and it's that way. That's happened before.
That's possible.
But
but
probably not.
If it had that car and it sat there a month,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be driving it. And I think what helped
That's
was one of the employees was driving it.
Oh.
Because they had to go up to talk to the guy who was gone.
Oh, okay.
And found out one of the employees was driving it to and from work every day, which was fine with me because, I mean, it wasn't getting sold that way. So
Right.
it
That's
worked out in
true.
my favor. You know, it's just the fact that they had it for so long, they wanted to get rid of it. So
Is there any cars that you didn't get that got away, that you didn't end up buying, though? You said the Nova. Was there anything else?
there's a couple Chargers that you and I were looking into when we were kids.
Oh, when we were real young and, like, still living at home, right?
Sure. And we thought about maybe buying a car together or
And, you know, you talked about
talked
it,
about 69 Chargers and looked at a
Yeah.
few, and we found one specific one that I will never forget.
Good.
It was $1,000. Is that what they wanted?
I
Like
think so.
$1,000 for
$1,000.
this damaged 69 Charger that
It ran.
ran good. It was in an accident, and the hood was damaged, the left front fender was damaged, and the left side driver's door was damaged.
Right.
And we never looked at it, but we were like $1,000.
Yeah. No picture of it, just an ad.
Yeah, we could fix this. We could fix this.
Just need a hood.
So
we
then
need a
we're
fender.
reading through the trading
Parts.
post still, and here comes the parts section.
Sure.
And lo and behold, we find a 69 Dodge Charger left fender, a 69 Dodge Charger hood, and a left side driver's door.
Yeah.
For like what, $50 a piece?
Yeah, so it was cheap.
We're
So
like, oh my God, we got a car and all the parts that it
Yeah.
needs right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's sold before we could even talk to anybody about it.
I think we might have called over and they said, oh, yeah, it's sold or something.
Yeah, we
like
were.
that. So
But that was like,
that stunk.
oh man.
Oh, that sucked.
And we, more than willing to work on it and paint it and all that stuff. But
Before we had the 68 Chevelle, the black one, I have to ask Dad. I don't know if I found it or if he found it because I don't remember. I just remember that there was an opportunity for us to buy an old Chevy.
okay,
Not just any old Chevy. A 57 Chevy.
oh, nice.
And I don't know if it ran real well or what it was, but I know it had a busted tail light or something. And Dad took me to like a swap meet for something. We were at a swap meet, and I was going around looking for a tail light for this thing. And I found one. Now you just mentioned the hood, and now it was $50 and right.
Right.
Well, now today a used one is $800.
Right.
Right. Okay. So back then, a tail light for a car probably would have ran $5.
Right, $5-10.
$10,
Easily.
right? Okay. This was $100 for the light,
Oh,
for the tail light lens. And that's what it needed. So when I told Dad about it, I said, look, that's kind of high, isn't it? And he goes, yeah. He says, I think we're going to have to let that car go because everything that we're going to have to put on that car is going to be big money. And that's probably not a good thing for you as a kid. You're not going to be able to afford all that.
right.
And I just went, okay. Right? So I remember I wasn't happy about it, but I was like,
until
okay.
later you realize, oh man, what got away?
Yeah. So that one got away. Of course,
Yeah.
that white
Yeah.
Charger in Cary, Ohio got away. But, it's okay. The Charger that I ended up having, that silver one, was
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So good, but yeah.
yeah. So how about bucket list cars? What do you got?
Oh, okay. There's a couple things. I've had some conversation with some guys at work and stuff, and there's some cars that I like from movies and stuff that I always thought were really cool and that, but I don't know if they're really on my bucket list anymore. But we like there's shows like Knight Rider with his Trans Am and Firebirds, and I like those, and I think that they're pretty cool, and it'd be neat to have one. But it doesn't strike my fancy where I'm like, okay, I want to look for one. I want to see if I can find one. Right. If I ran across one, I'd probably go, well, okay, but I don't think I'm like looking to buy one. You and I had talked about for many years about a DeLorean from Back to the Future, right?
Yes.
And they're not very fast.
No.
Not that I don't need a super fast car, but they're just not known as a fast car at all.
Right.
They're still $30,000 to $35,000 for a decent one.
Yep.
Which is pricey for what I want to do. And if you want it to be anything like Back to the Future and you want to have it, some of that stuff, it's $100,000 conversion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, it'd be great, it'd be neat, but it's a pipe dream for me. I don't think that I would ever go crazy to try to go out and actually buy one.
Right.
And let's do it.
Right.
They are cool to see. You can't go through a drive-through and order food with those things. If you see the driver's and passenger window, they only open 3, 4, 5 inches or whatever it is. So just open it like it's like a mail slot on a post office box or something. So anyways, there's that. The car that I really, for whatever reason, just seems to get me, and that is the Bandit Trans Am. The 77, 78, 79 Trans Am. That to me, I find myself in free time on the internet looking at them, right?
Yeah.
And doing that. And luckily, because I'm a little bit older now, when I do go look for them, I know not only what I'm looking for, but I don't want a trailer queen. I want a driver, right? I want it to be black. I want it to have T-tops, right? I want it to have the stuff that we remember from the movie, but I want it to almost be like the Trans Am version of the Orange Daytona.
Okay.
I want it to be a fun driver that we can get in, and if it gets scratched, I'll go, okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's go to dinner, or let's go here, and let's travel here. And
absolutely, one you could take out to dinner.
Yeah, that's what I'm really interested in, is something like that.
Drive down to Georgia for sure in it.
Oh, baby, that would be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else on your?
I think any car
list?
that I'm looking for would be a driver. But I have 2 cars on my bucket list, and one, it's never going to happen because it's 71 Barracuda.
Oh, good God!
Yeah,
you got another Chrysler
can't afford
Plymouth
that.
On there, man. That's a $100,000 car.
Yeah, it's a $100,000 car. That's never going to happen.
Jim.
I wouldn't even think of it. I don't know. And you know what? I was never like a fan of that growing up. But it's just seeing them now. I just love the style on the front end, of course, and it has to be the 71. The other ones don't do it for me. It's only the 71. Yeah, especially the front end,
Sure.
But the back end too, and it's just it's that car. But it hasn't been a dream car of mine forever. What has is a 69 Corvette. Well, used to be a 68. I've changed it to 69.
Okay.
69 blue Corvette with side pipes. And the only modification I would want to make, if it didn't already have, is you can buy these. Yeah, that's it right there, blue one. That's almost the same color. Somewhere in there similar.
Right.
I don't care what the motor is. Doesn't have to be manual. I don't care. The blue with the side pipes. Two changes I'd like to make. If you see the rear end right there, can you pull that up? The rear end of that one.
Sure.
The 69s, they put the tail lights, the backup lights inside the tail lights there.
Okay.
See that? The 68s, they did not have that. 68s were 4 red lights, and the backup lights were under the bumpers.
Got it.
Yeah, and you can change that pretty easily. So I would change that, and the only other customization I would like to make. Oh, that was cool. I don't know how you did that, but that was neat.
iPhones.
The front ends, you can buy fiberglass front end replacements that don't have the cutouts for the headlights, the pop-up headlights.
Okay, sure.
Corvettes have. and I wanted to get one of those, a customized one, so I didn't have the cutouts. And then you have to make some kind of customization to put lights in the grill. You can find some photos on the internet of Corvettes like that where they've taken the headlights out. That's it. Yep. See, there's no cutouts there. They actually sell the front ends like that. So you just pop on a new front end, get it painted. But yeah, that's definitely my bucket list car. For sure.
It's funny that you mentioned the Cuda because on my little list here that I made up, I have on here Hemi Cuda.
I saw that.
So that was definitely one of my cars.
Well, I've talked to you about it a couple times.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think we know that, let's shoot back to Larry real quick. We'll spin back around to Larry Emery. Big Mustang guy. Mm-hmm. Big Mustang guy.
Yeah.
I like them. I don't mind them, but I've never been interested in owning them except for one. And that's that 70 Boss Mach 1 Mustang.
Absolutely. You talking about the white with the blue or black racing stripes?
Well, even the one that was the orange one. I think was it the orange one that I built, that model?
Oh, you're looking at the orange one? So I think you're thinking of a different year than I am. You like the 70.
Yeah.
Which is more like the 69, the rounded front end. And I'm thinking more of the 70, it might be 2 or 3 with the straighter, the more boxy front end.
Sure.
Mach 1.
Right.
Same here. That was always, and I'm not a Mustang guy either, but if I were to get one.
Gone in 60 seconds with the Eleanor 68 GT500.
Come on.
Okay, that's a pipe dream.
That's a pipe dream.
Right?
But I would
Beautiful
take that car in a
car.
heartbeat.
Yeah, I would do that one. What about like a 68, 69 GOAT, GTO Judge?
Oh, yes.
That's not horribly bad.
No.
Okay, money-wise.
Yeah, we could do one of those.
We could do something like that.
Yeah, sure.
I also had on here a 55 Chevy two-door.
Yeah.
I didn't even know those things existed when the 57 was out. I mean, I knew that, of course, they made a 55, but I just didn't know what it looked like.
You didn't know that?
It's a different-looking car.
I have a model of 55.
And I love that thing. I just think it's a cool car. And Dad and I, quick story, I mentioned this, the GM Powertrain Car Show, right?
Yes.
Where I met the guy that bought my Charger. Okay.
Yes.
Dad and I were there with his Corvette, and there was a guy there that had a 55 that was probably on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 6.
Okay.
And he was selling it. It was a 55 for sale. And Dad and I had a very serious father and son talk about, should we do this? Do you want to go in this one with me? Do you want to, So we talked about it. We decided not to. But that was a close one. That might even be listed as one that got away.
Yeah, I would say so.
Other than that, about the only other one that I really would like to get that I'll never own, that would be a bucket list car I'll never own, is probably like a 1985 Lamborghini Countach.
Oh, definitely a Countach would be a sweet car to have, wouldn't it?
What's so funny is that when you look these things up, if you see that 85 Countach, and for the viewers out there, it's the one that they did in Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Right. It's got the gull wing doors that go up, right? And all
yes.
That. Actually, they slide up. But anyways, those are still 90, 100, 125,000. It's a 1985.
But you can get them now in the States, where back in the day it was.
Oh my gosh,
there weren't very many here.
Yeah, it's a crazy car. But
yeah,
that would be one. And I think that was it on my list of bucket list cars. Do you have anything else on your list?
No, not really that I can think of. I guess I've always liked the 73 Camaros. I would definitely be in the market for a 73 Camaro.
Right.
Liked that year. Really, really did like those years.
It's really funny with me being...
Definitely a C28 would be better.
Oh, there you go. There you go. With me being such a big, Mopar Charger guy, but owning 2 Chevelles, there's still one Chevelle out there that I've always liked and always wanted and just never did. These Chevelles are all getting to be more and more expensive, but I had a buddy at work that had one of these. And also, when we lived on Crissy Road, down the street on Crissy Road, if you remember, there was a guy that owned one that was right down the street. It was a bright red one. It was a 1972 Chevelle that had the round taillights on Crissy Road.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so this guy had it, and it was just flat out gorgeous, and it sounded like it was going to rip the ceiling off of the house when he started it. But I've got a couple of buddies that have owned these 72s, and the one that I do remember, it was a convertible even. It was ragtop. Real nice car. And I just really like the looks of those. It's got a different front end than the 70s. It's got a different tail light section than the 70s. I think the 68 and 70 is probably my favorite 2 years. But the 72s, man, it's right in there too. It's really close. But they're all, all Chevelles now are getting higher and higher priced.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it seems like the Trans Ams,
They're
keep
not
going back
really.
to that, they're higher, because everything's higher.
Yeah.
But they're not like the other ones are.
No.
You can get like a mint conditioned Trailer Queen Bandit Trans Am for like 40 grand.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just in amazement that you can get one like that for that kind of money.
Right.
So that means if I get one that's a good driver, what are we going to put in it, Jim? 20? 23? 20, right?
Right.
So somewhere in that range
Right.
would be great. I'm good with that. I'm
Yeah.
good with that. Let's go get it. I'm good with that.
Let's
So
go get it.
did we miss anything? Any final
Probably,
words?
but I can't think of it right now.
Well, we've got
We got many episodes to cover that.
Yeah, we
I'm
do,
sure
so-
Larry will bring up some things.
oh yeah.
And maybe Nathan will too. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, Nathan's going to be coming to town in a week or so. We're going to see if we can plop him down in front of us and hopefully get the schedules together and get everybody here so we can try to do something. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. But, well, if there's nothing else, man, I'm going to sign us off. And we're
You
going
don't
to
have more you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I think other than maybe just talking about some of the cars from TV and movies that we loved growing up.
Talk about that for a minute.
You want to talk about? Okay, cool. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember back in the early 1900s, the Foo Fighters. We growing up and watching TV, everything on TV was always about a lot of the cars. So you had Smoking the Bandit with the Trans Am, you had the Dukes with the car. You've got Knight Rider, Hardcastle McCormick had a really cool Coyote. That was a neat car. It's almost like a kit car. So all these different shows. Fall Guy with that beautiful GMC
Yes.
truck that he had. That
Yes.
was amazing. It was like bouncing on balloons with those big tires. With Lee Majors. So all these different shows that we watched. growing
Starsky and
up.
Hutch Gran Torino.
Oh, just wonderful car.
Which, by the way, watching that movie that they made, Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, was just seeing that car
Yeah.
clean, and I mean, new television, where it shows the car for what it really was,
Right.
rather than the '70s television where it's just not the same picture.
Sure.
Oh, beautiful car, beautiful car. And to see the outtakes of them smashing up those cars.
Oh,
Oh, but yeah, just a neat looking car.
well, a lot of those remakes that they did. I mean, you can't replace the car. You can have different actors and different people
No,
play different
no.
parts. But if you do like anything with the Dukes, you got to have the right car. I mean, the downfall of the remake of Knight Rider was they used a Mustang.
Yeah,
Had they went back to that Trans Am,
yeah,
maybe, because that was part of the luster or the attraction of the show.
right.
So, but anyways, that's with that. But
Yeah, who came up with that idea?
I don't know, man. But all those cars. The A-Team van was cool.
Yes, it was.
I
Yes,
mean,
it was.
the coolest van you ever saw on television. But a lot of those shows growing up, they just, if I look at any of those cars and go, geez, which one of those, would I want? I mean, I just keep going back to I've had the Charger. I like the Bandit Trans Am.
Yeah.
If we go to the big screen and get off TV, I mean, you've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future. What else have you got? You've got the Blues Brothers car.
Yes.
That's a cool car.
Lots of cars from the big screen.
Oh my God! Yeah, there's just so many different
How about
aspects
the Bullet?
about that. The Bullet, yeah, the Charger on that one was a '68, and then also the
And
Bullet Mustang was
The Mustang that
beautiful
Steve
car.
McQueen drove.
Yeah, there's a behind the scenes on that one is that they had a lot of times they had to let off the gas in that Charger. They said it was too quick.
Yes, I did hear that.
And versus that, but
Yeah.
the Mustangs, they weren't doing some of those real big heavy motors in them. And those
Right,
Chargers were like a
right.
slingshot
they
back in the
were.
day.
Yeah, back in the day they were. Yeah, but they.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember a movie that. Let me just bring this up for anybody who's listening, because we may get a random stranger listen to our podcast. But a movie that you probably can't even find anywhere, probably not even streaming anywhere, that had a pretty cool car, and it was a Henry Winkler movie called Heroes. And ironically
Really?
enough, Sally Field was in it too. Yes.
Oh, get out.
Now, I'm not kidding you. Sally Field, Henry Winkler, and Henry Winkler was traveling across country with earthworms. He was going to run an earthworm farm.
Where do
with
you find stuff?
Grant, this was a movie from the 70s. We saw this on the big screen.
Oh, my God.
Guarantee you.
I slept through that one.
Okay, now wait a minute. This movie, I mean, it was kind of crazy, but there was a cool car in it. He goes to his buddy. Sally Field helps him out. They go to his buddy, who was supposed to like give him money or something to go find another. There was another friend of theirs. He was going to raise these earthworms.
Okay.
I don't know what the deal was. I
Right.
forget what the exact concept of these earthworms was. But his buddy is played by Harrison Ford,
No kidding.
and he's driving I want to say it's a Firebird, like a early 70s Firebird,
No kidding.
orange with an 8-ball on the side. Yeah, he was like
Oh,
he
my
like
God.
raced cars on dirt tracks. So he lends the car to Henry Winkler,
Okay.
and of course they get in some trouble in a bar somewhere. Some people start picking on him, and Sally Field drives the car through the bar to save Henry Winkler
To
from
save-
getting his
oh, my
butt
God.
whipped. And they get in the car and drive. Of course, the car's, destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
And they're driving down the road, and I think they just left it somewhere, but it was
Oh,
a
my God.
beautiful, nice car. But there's movies out there that cars were in, that people don't know. I mean, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry that I was talking about earlier, they had the 69 yellow Charger that they run away in. That,
Yeah.
I won't even talk about what happens to that at the end. Got to watch it to see. But
Spoiler.
it's a lot of movies that had cars in them. The one I don't really need to talk about, I don't know if you remember the movie The Wraith. A lot of people crave over this car. You don't remember The Wraith with Martin Sheen? Not Martin Sheen. Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen? No, not that I can think of right off
The
top of
Wraith
my head.
was about a car that was drag racing all these other cars and beating them, and it was this. It wasn't a stock car. This was like a modified car that they made. I can't believe you don't remember this one. But nobody ever saw the driver, and it was just beating everybody in all these races, and
Oh, my gosh.
it was supposed to be a car. I don't know, had a computer in it, and you never saw the guy driving. The guy driving was supposed to be like Charlie Sheen. You find out at the end, but it was a weird movie. It wasn't all that great.
Oh, my God.
But a lot of people, it's a cult. It's a cult classic.
Yeah.
People that watched it think that was a cool car. I didn't think it was anything great, but
Well, another popular movie that had an old car in it
Yeah.
that I wasn't aware was that the Ghostbusters Ecto 1
my gosh.
is a 59 Cadillac
Yeah,
ambulance.
yeah.
I didn't know it was a 59.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was a caddy. So I just think that's hilarious. So imagine when they start doing these movies again and they have to, okay, we got to build another Ecto.
There's another one coming out, right?
I do.
Oh.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited about that.
I still remember coming over here and watching the last one with you after
Yeah.
I bought it on Voodoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
that
a
was
good time.
great.
That
was
was
a
a
great
good
time. Great time.
Yeah, that was a good time. But the Ecto 1, man, it blew my mind when I started looking up some old cars for the podcast, and just to think about it, and I looked it up and I said, oh yeah, what's the Ecto 1? I was like, put it in there, and it said 59 Cadillac ambulance. I went, what? So it just, blew my
You
mind.
have to come up with a list of movies for people someday for car movies to watch. One I know, a newer one that a lot of people don't know about, was Hit and Run with oh no, I'm blanking on the name. The blonde guy, Dax Shepard.
Oh, okay.
It was his movie. He did it with Bradley Cooper. They did it together, I think. I remember him on a radio show or something talking about it. And he drove a Lincoln, a restored Lincoln. And it was
Wow.
it was a nice fast car.
Did you
But
watch?
that was a pretty cool movie.
Not too long ago, there was a movie with Quentin Tarantino that he did. I think it's called Death Trap, and that was with
You talking about the Christopher Reeve movie and Michael Caine?
no,
Okay.
no.
I thought that was
I think
Death
it was
Trap.
either or Death Race or something like that. But it
Death
was
Race.
with Kurt Russell was in
Okay,
it.
don't know.
And I'm pretty sure he drove a '69 Charger that was
Really?
all like done up in primer gray, right?
Okay.
And then he was chasing some girls around that happened to be in a white Challenger, like from The Vanishing,
Oh, okay.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
And he did all these like car chase scenes. So if you ever get a chance to watch that, you should pull it up and see it. But it's actually not bad. It's pretty
I'll
good.
have to see if I can.
But it's Quentin Tarantino movie, so he puts his spin on it.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool. It was almost kind of like he's paying, doing a nod, if you will, to some of the old, like the Bullet movies and stuff like that of the past. So it was pretty cool.
Haven't seen the John Schneider movie.
Which one?
The one they made, the tribute to the Smoking the Bandit movie.
Yeah, he's done a couple.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. There's another one that he's advertising right now, and it's about a American veteran guy that's fighting the system today about how they look at anything patriotic as borderline racist.
Uh-huh.
And they say if you're too patriotic or you're too this, then you should you can't fly your flag and all this other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he did a movie on that, and I've not seen it, but it's probably pretty controversial right now. But the Smokey and the Bandit tribute one that he did, I have not seen that either. So maybe we should watch that together.
We probably should.
Should we review it?
We should review it.
We could do a review on that.
We could.
We
we could.
and do that. I guess that's another thing too. I wanted to add, and that's a good segue. There is that if there's anybody out there that's watching these podcasts, feel free to leave a comment in there and tell us if there's a topic or something that maybe you're in our family and there's a topic that you want us to talk about that you've heard about, or you've heard us talk about before and you want us to cover it again, or if there's certain things that you want us to review about, maybe our high school days or stuff that we did when we were a little bit younger. Any kind, throw those in the comment section. Obviously, Jim and I will review them, and we'll see if there's a topic there to go over, or if there's movies you want us to review.
Yeah, Dad, if you want to know if we ever drove any of your cars, throw in a question. Just kidding. What cars? Remember taking the Charger out to 73?
Dad didn't have.
What were we, 10?
Dad didn't have any cars. Dad walked to work uphill both ways in the snow.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Jeep.
We could have surfed in that van that Dad had.
Yeah.
Or did we?
No.
No, we didn't.
I think I've surfed once, and it was on your van, and that was good. And
we never drove the Dad's van.
No.
But he did have a Ford van like that. I do remember.
Yeah, Dad had some cool cars. So that's another thing I want to. That's one of the topics I want to hit up Dad about
When Dad's up. Yeah,
when he's here.
absolutely.
Because he had
Absolutely.
like an old Duster and an old Charger and some other stuff I remember, and growing
Couple
up.
Corvettes.
So yeah, I'd like to talk about some of that stuff. So we'll hit him up on that. But yeah, if there's anything that anybody wants to have us talk about, throw that in the comments section, and we can bring it up. But I think we should do a movie review or hit a couple of different movies from back in the day.
I think he just killed the battery.
And I think the battery died on camera 4 because it's just you and me now, buddy.
That's okay.
I think it's over.
I don't think we need it. We're about done here. We're
I
wrapping
think
up
so,
anyways.
too. I think so too.
Anything else about cars you wanted to add?
No, man, I'm pretty clear. I think we hit everything on the list that we were talking about.
Except one thing.
Oh, what was that?
It's the very top of the list.
Yeah.
And we probably should cover it.
Let's go ahead and do that. You want to start out?
Just wanted to pay our homage. The news about the passing of, I will say it, a legend in the acting industry. Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry, major comedian from Friends.
Yeah.
Played Chandler Bing or Mrs. Chandler Bong.
This is Chandler Bond. Love that guy.
I think for Jimmy and I, and I'll say this real quick, is that first of all, all the prayers and thoughts go to his family and his friends and the people that were seriously close to him. But Matthew Perry is our age.
Yes.
Was our age. So back when Friends was on, and as they were going through different situations in that show, for the most part,
Situations that we went through.
at the same time we were
Same
going
time,
through it.
absolutely.
You know,
You could relate to friends in that way
Yeah.
because we were the same age,
Yeah.
pretty much as he was, and the people they were playing. I mean, they were playing pretty close to their
Yeah.
age. So
Yeah. Well, and there's so much from a comedic standpoint. There's so much stuff that they did in Friends that, without even realizing it, that's where we picked it up from,
yes,
and we probably still do it to this day to a
Yes.
certain degree.
oh yeah,
You know, and the how you doing? I've been doing since I saw Joey do it
Right.
on Friends years ago.
Right.
And I still, hey, how you doing? You know, I
Right.
still do that. You know, but I think that was the thing with me, at least that I always felt very close to all of them, just because exactly that. You know, they're going through the same stuff that we're going through at the same time that we were going through it. So a lot of stuff that they dealt with on TV
Yes.
is the same thing we were doing at the same time.
absolutely.
You know, so I just felt like that. I mean, you know, you got those 6 people, and they were 6 of my closest friends as well.
Yeah,
It's sad.
I don't know if it's because it's age, like you said, being in close proximity, but actors and actresses die all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they get older, they die. I mean, it's part of life. But it hit me a little harder than, you know, like the smoke when Burt Reynolds died, and of course our favorite movie, you know, Smokey and the Bandit, and that
Right.
hit us hard.
Yeah.
And I remember going over and having some drinks with you and toasting, doing the picture you framed for me and everything. I love that photo, by the way.
Awesome.
That was hard, but you need to put that up there for people to see.
For sure.
That you put in the frame with all the bottle caps from the Coronas that we not
Yeah.
just drank that night, but for
Yeah.
a period of time.
We wore our bandit stuff and was all in
Yeah,
honor
had our
of
bandit shirts
Bert.
on, and that was awesome. But I think the Matthew Perry one hit me a little harder.
Yeah, that was like a brother.
Yeah.
Or you know, with Bert, it was kind of like the fun uncle.
Right.
Or a dad in a sense, you
right.
know. He was just the cool, you know, uncle.
Yeah.
But Matthew was like, I mean, he'd been like a brother.
He's a friend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So again, our thoughts and prayers go to him
Absolutely.
and his family, and you know, all the rest of them: David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow. So, and I just lost myself. I think we're gonna cut over to you.
I'm like, we're losing every camera now.
Just they're all going. They're done.
We've been on way too long tonight.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
okay. You're gonna have to divide this one up in a couple minutes.
We'll do
I
that.
think.
We'll do
but
that.
I don't know. I think our avid fans will listen. We seem to have a few that are pretty
Two
excited.
people.
Our two fans.
Two people. Well, again, I want to thank my co-host here, Jim, and thank you for putting up with me and doing this stuff and scheduling this with me. Had another fantastic time with you tonight.
Yeah, I
So
was
thank
calling you saying when you want me over. Come on, man, let's go. What are you talking about?
So
Yeah, you can't do them without me. You're not allowed.
okay, all right.
I'm just telling you that right now.
Well, if we do
It's
have,
not allowed.
If we have some visitors coming in from out of town, I'm going to tell you when we're going to do it.
Well, then
I'm-
you need to just say,
I'm
"Get your
hoping-
ass over here." I'll be over here. Okay,
Okay,
that's
hey,
what we got to do.
Fair enough.
I mean,
That's easy enough to
you
do.
told me in advance for next weekend, so we'll work something out. We can work something out within those couple of days. Not absolutely, but
We'll have plenty of time.
yeah.
We'll have plenty of time. Well, thanks, brother. Pardon me, brother. I appreciate you, love you,
Pardon me, brother.
and we will put some of this stuff together, and we will see you guys all another time.
Goodbye.